Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to another daily conversation about situations in everyday life. So let's talk about it. So of course today is Wednesday. Again, it's hump day. So we dedicate our Wednesdays to talk about relationships. And it's so funny because I just started looking through this book that I purchased for my fiance, but I kind of I purchased it kind of like for both of us because I heard about it and I was reading the reviews on it, and I kind of felt like it's geared towards men, but I think a woman reading it, I think if a woman reads it, it kind of allows her to look at the perspective of women through the eyes of men, and also looking at certain things that pertains to the man, so that we can kind of understand them a little bit more as well. So this book that I was reading is called The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida, I think. I hope I pronounced his name right. Deida. Could I say Deida? Maybe that would work too. I don't know. But anyways, so what really took me to wanting to talk about this today is because this morning I came across a clip on IG from one of my favorite podcasters. They're called Tonight's Conversations. I love them. Go and get their card decks. They're amazing. They will be great for your relationships. There was a conversation they were having, and I don't even remember who the guy is that they were interviewing, but he made a valid point about kind of like the masculine and feminine energy, which is pretty much the whole root of The Way of the Superior Man that I'm reading now. It kind of breaks down understanding the balance between the feminine and masculine energy. And that's kind of like the topic that they were talking about. So I just want you guys to hear him out real quick, okay?
I don't know what a feminine man is. I don't
know exactly what it is. And you honestly feel threatened by them, because that's the one thing that you probably lack as a human, is this empathy vehicle that you're so afraid to lay claim to, when really it's necessary for your manhood. I believe that 1,000%. The most well-rounded individuals, male and female, must have the ability to be what y'all call this masculine. When it's as a woman, it's like when it's two becomes one, there's got to be some bleed over. There's this purge. There's this sauce that you make of a man's masculinity and a woman's femininity. Those things don't, just like y'all mesh, so does that energy. I would not expect my woman to not pick up some sort of masculine traits, but these are mine. I get to watch her use my slang, carry that like I carry it. That's the most beautiful thing. As long as we call it a war, we will forever be intimidated when we see it in ourselves. But that's really just women touch you in a way that make you softer, bro.
Yeah.
And you must acquire that to survive.
So I love 2 points that he said that I love is where he says when that masculine and feminine energy fuses together, there's got to be some bleed over, right? How many times we see that it's like we kind of pick up each other's slang, like he said, or our way of doing things, or our demeanors. And it's very beautiful to watch when you see each other pick up certain things from each other that are kind of like some of your favorable things, you know? Like it's really beautiful when you're able to see that fuse together and create that sauce that he's talking about. It gives off an energy. That's where you hear they talk about black love. It's like that balance between the two. Once it becomes one and it fuses together and creates that sauce, it's like bon appetit. So, you feel me? So like I said, hearing that took me back to actually the first one of the first chapters in the book, where it starts off by just saying, stop hoping for completion of anything in life, right? And I feel like in our relationships, that's what we do. It's like, I'm going to be this way when this happens, or I'm going to get like this when this happens. It's like, you can never just live in the moment and be what you want to be, because you're constantly contemplating a future that you could have just created, and it's not even a guarantee that it's going to happen, right? So it starts off by saying most men make the error of thinking that one day it will be done. They think if I can work enough, then one day I could rest. Or one day my woman will understand something and then she will stop complaining. Or I'm only doing this now so that one day I can do what I really want. Don't we all say that one? The masculine error is to think that eventually things will be different in some fundamental way. They won't. It never ends. As long as life continues, the creative challenge is to tussle, play, and make love with the present moment while giving your unique gift. That part took me out because I felt every word of that. It's like we're so busy constantly trying to figure out how we're going to fix this, how we're going to make this be better, or all I got to do is make sure that I do this and then this will happen. And you're missing all of that time that you can never get back. You are not even focusing on making those moments meaningful moments, right? We're constantly trying to figure out, how am I going to stop? How can we no longer be this way? Like you're constantly in a tussle, right? With a tussle, right? You can't tussle a tussle. It's like them say, you can't fight fire with fire, right? You know there's going to be a tussle. Don't try to fight with it. Roll with it. Don't try to really change a woman, right? Because a woman is truly who she is. She is full of emotions that sometimes get out of control and spin out of control, right? There's nothing we can do about it. That is exactly what we are. There's nothing we can do about it. We can try to tame it, act like it doesn't exist. We can try to, say we're going to change when realistically we're not changing nothing, okay? Women are always going to be chaotic. We're always going to be full of emotions. We're always going to be like the one that takes it up a notch, right? That's just who we are. That's our makeup. That's just how we were created. And until we understand that, right? And understand that it's not even really just the woman. We got to understand that this really, really comes down to understanding that it's energies, right? It's the masculine energy and the feminine energy. And understanding that both can coincide and does coincide, right? You can have both. I think the best sauce is created when both people can balance both energies, because at some point you're gonna have to jump into that masculine energy as a woman, and sometimes a man is gonna have to jump into that feminine energy as a man, so that you can tap into that empathy that's needed, right? If you don't know how to tap into that, you're constantly gonna just find yourself fighting and tussling with the tussle, right? So I'm going to also read these two paragraphs that I really, really loved. It says, in addition to the myth that one day your life will be fundamentally different, you may believe and hope that one day your woman will be fundamentally different. Don't wait. Assume she's going to be however she is forever. If your woman's behavior or mood is truly intolerable to you, you should leave her. And don't look back, since you cannot change her. However, if you find her behavior or mood is merely distasteful or hassle, realize that she will always seem this way. The feminine always seems chaotic and complicated from the perspective of the masculine. The next time you notice yourself trying to fix your woman so that she will no longer, say, irritate you, right? Relax and give her love by touching her and telling her that you love her when she is this way. Whatever you filled in that blank with, right? Embrace her or wrestle with her or scream and yell for the heck of it, but make no effort to bring an end to that which pisses you off. Practice love instead of trying to bring an end to the quality that bothers you. You can't escape the tussle with the feminine. Learn to find humor in the unending emotional drama the feminine seems to enjoy so much. The love that you magnify may realign her behavior, but your effort to fix her and your frustration never will. The world and your woman will always present you with unforeseen challenges. You are either living fully, giving your gift in the midst of those challenges, or you are waiting for an imaginary future which will never come. Men who have lived significant lives are men who never waited, not for money, security, ease, or women. Feel what you want to give most as a gift to your woman and to the world, and do what you can to give it today. Every moment waited is a moment wasted, and each wasted moment degrades your clarity of purpose. So even with understanding the balance when it comes to our relationships, it's so intertwined with our purpose, right? Because ultimate happiness is what elevates us to our purpose, right? If we're constantly in this state of thinking that we can rewrite or recreate something, you're never gonna grow. You're constantly gonna be on that hamster wheel that I talked about the other day, where you just think you making a change for a little bit and then you're going right back because you keep reverting back to this facade that you created in your mind of a future that you could have or will have. And it's like, no, it's time to just regroup, right? And understand that this is what it is, right? And sometimes, like in the book, it's talking about men, but it's also for the women on the flip side. Like I remember the other night, my fiance was in a mood, and usually I would see that and I would just be like, oh my gosh, here he goes with his attitude. Just like he would see me sometimes in my attitude and just leave us alone. Like don't even do anything. And sometimes what it takes is for us to pour into each other in those moments what it is that we're missing, right? What it is that we're feeling. And sometimes if you are really tuned into your partner, you're going to know exactly what that is. You're going to know exactly what that is, and you're going to be able to give it. And I think if we spend more time in those moments, we're going to realize that we're starting to create moments for us to connect, right? Because the key in relationships is always connecting. That's how we're able to communicate. That's how we're able to read the room. When your partner will walk in, you'll be able to feel them out and know what's going on right off the bat because you're so connected, right? If you're not connected, of course you're gonna be, what's wrong? What's it? My fiance hates that. Oh my gosh, he hates that so much. It's like, what's the matter? What did I do now? All of this insecure energy that you're oozing out. And it's like, no, I don't want all of that. I just want that energy that's confident, that comfort me in the time of need, right? And like I said, it's vice versa. It's not just on the man and it's not just on the woman. It's on us both to focus on that. I think if we focus on that more so than focusing on telling each other what the other one is not giving or not doing, just focus on making those moments pop. When you see each other not at 100%, don't like beat each other down. Like I said before, just breathe life into each other. Just embrace each other. Just hold each other up. And it's not something that you always got to do physically. It could just be via a conversation. It could just be via a simple message or via a poke, like on Facebook, right? Like, it's crazy. But it's funny because you'll be surprised how little things matter, right? We as women, we always want, oh, I need some roses, or I need this, or I need, like I tell my fiance, I have a vase in my room where I'm like, okay, he knows I love roses, so he'll just buy roses for me to put in the vase, and it's not really a holiday or anything. And, roses don't last long. They die after a while. So after, when they die and it's been empty for a little bit, I'd be like, just watching to see how long it's going to take for him to give me another one, right? And it's like, why are you even expecting that? Like, that is something that he just does, right? And now it's become something that you expect. And if they don't do it now it's a problem. And it's like, come on. Like, that's not how we, like, you can't take moments that were created and make it be an obligation. Like, let it be a moment, right? Because and why I say that is because I'll be sitting there like that, and then like a couple days or a week may pass, and then when I'm not thinking about it, all of a sudden, boom, he comes with a rose, and then I'm all mushy, I'm all like, oh my God, I got roses, like it's the first time I got roses. But that's what it does when it's not something that's premeditated, like, oh, every time they die, here comes another one. Then it just becomes something, it's not what it originally was created for, right? It's like my fiance, I make his lunch for him to go to work in the morning, and one morning I wrote him a little letter on a Post-it, and he must have really enjoyed it, right? Because I ran out of Post-its and I haven't restocked yet, right? So yesterday he's like, so I got that one little note that one day and then no more after that. And I started dying because it's like, you would never think that it mattered to them that much, but it does, right? We think that men don't like little sentimental things the way we do. And trust me, if it's intentional and they feel like it was something that you took the time to do for them, they're going to love it. And they're going to go above and beyond to do what it is that they need to do on their part. So today, my encouragement is just for us to just live and do and pour into each other what we want poured into us. And if we do that and we understand each other, we understand the balance of the masculine and the feminine, and understand that both need to exist. Both are going to be what they are. Like we love to say men are just so simple and dry. They don't have any emotions. Like, they don't put in enough thought into things, and it's not that they don't. It's just that they're not as dramatic as us, They're just not as dramatic as us, and we got to get to the point where we understand that. We got to understand each other. Men, you need to understand that women are dramatic, we're over dramatic, and we're always going to be dramatic. Get with it, okay? You guys can tame that. I'll tell you, trust me, you can, because I never thought there would be anyone that can tame me. And I'll tell you, my fiance is the right one. And there is someone out there for everyone. Trust and believe. So today, I encourage you all to just live, enjoy life, accept people and energies for what they are, and you make sure you project the energy that you desire. Go forth, have a blessed day, and be the best version of you.